It's time now for the Peter Channel Lady News on this Wednesday, evening, May 4th, 2016. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins, and that's Bobby Stevens over there. And here are your news and our top three at 6:40 p.m. on this Wednesday evening as Donald Trump, the man who would not run, could not win as the nominated Republican Party after John Kasich and Ted Cruz both stepped down from the Republican race. The Canadian province of Alberta is under a full state of emergency Wednesday as a catastrophic wildfire continued to devour neighborhoods in Fort McMurray, where 80,000 residents were safely evacuated, officials said. Protesters rallied outside the Capitol against House Bill 2 in Raleigh, North Carolina, as U.S. warns North Carolina that transgender bill violates civil rights law because of the transgender bill. Widespread water contamination in Flint, Michigan was a man-made disaster brought by a political purpose for a small government. Presidential Barack Obama made a visit on Wednesday to the city. Judge Evans summoned the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia laid out the ground rules for intermediate State Department officials about the emails of Hillary Clinton would have died toward finishing the position a week before the party. Japanese auto supplier Tech got a deadly airbag crisis balloon in the largest week called U.S. history Wednesday as a company agreed that a deal with auto safety regulators to recall about 35 million to 40 million additional airbag inflators. A group of U.S. service members in South Korea jumped into action to catch the 3 children in their mother who jumped out of the 4th floor of the building to escape a fire on Friday. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan given investors a test of just how to give quickly local politics can do the investment strategies. In effort to counter NATO's plans to bolster its eastern flank, Russia aims to create 3 new military divisions comprised of approximately 30,000 personnel. Jerusalem, in a response to the mortar round fired by Hamas toward Israeli defense forces operated outside of Gaza Strip, Israel had fired targets in Gaza. When airstrike on Wednesday, a military spokesman said. Beijing, China delivered a measured response after Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump accused Beijing of rape. So, an American who was freed from captivity in North Korea in 2014 said Pyongyang billed him $300,000 hospitalization fees after his release. Caracas, Venezuela opened the nuclear health crisis that would have forced the real government by the President Maduro to accept foreign medical aid. Manila, 3 hostages being held by militants in the southern Philippines have appeared in a video pleading with their governments to meet their captors' demands. Brussels, the European Union provided visa-free travel for Turkish citizens with Europe's Schengen areas of concession related to migrant crisis. Washington, New York's iconic Stonewall, and where the modern gay rights movement will become the first national monument honored in history of gays and lesbians in the U.S., said President Barack Obama. Canadian Texas officials at the transportation company where a recent fire employee fatally shot a former co-worker says suspended at all work, and the company said that the gunman acted alone. Indianapolis, Tuckman say a former Indianapolis High School boys basketball coach have agreed to plead guilty to try to attach a 15-year-old to have sex with him. A stranger who lured 11-year-old Ashley back into his van when the apartments had watched the movie instead of walked through the hills in a remote area of Navajo Nation placed over its breathtaking views at a Manila Acropolis. FDA reveals details of Navajo girls kidnapping and slaying. Washington, Hillary Clinton's promised supporters Wednesday that she would not be dumbfounded by Donald Trump's unorthodox tactics that she and his GOP rivals were. Pasco, Washington. A Lister outbreak, which has left several people hospitalized, has prompted a huge nationwide recall of frozen foods. Tells Virginia, Ohio Governor John Kasich canceled a press conference in Virginia for an announcement in his own state, reportedly that he will exit a race for the president. Take a look at some local news from the Sun Chronicle. Foxbury, the Board of Selectmen, has a new face as well as a new chairman. Mark Gelfman defeated incumbent John Gray in Monday's town election and participated in his first board meeting on Tuesday. North Edinburgh, a local woman is now in jail for allegedly stealing almost $17,000 from her 88-year-old mother and leaving her filthy and malnourished on her brother's doorstep in what prosecutors called one of the worst elder abuse cases in Bristol County. Edinburgh, Peter Upper, a longtime business leader and philanthropist who was deeply involved in the development of local radio and cable television in Edinburgh, has died according to Friends of Business Association. He was 68 years old. In North Edinburgh, the town received a rare piece of wealth and financial news this week when a bond rating service posted North Carolina's outlook from negative to stable as looks to about $4.6 million. Boston, Massachusetts collected more than $2.9 million in taxes in April, about 3% less than what was collected in April last year. Revenue collection in April was also well below expectations, falling $172 million short of predictions. State revenue are more than $260 million below expectations with just 2 months left in the fiscal year. Phoenix and Arizona man accused of learning that Massachusetts board have sex has changed his plea to guilty. And now looking at business news at 6:45. Tesla Motors Incorporated reported a large first quarter loss compared with a year ago Wednesday, but the report was overshadowed by news that a planned departure due to the company's key manufacturing executives. Tribune published in which shows the Los Angeles Times, Chicago Tribune, and nine of a daily newspaper said Wednesday this board of directors has unanimously rejected candidates taking $50 million offered to buy the company. Zynga Incorporated on Wednesday reported first quarter results that made explanation thanks to cost cuts and decreased advertising revenue, but the video game development reports another sharp decline of customers. Frankfurt, the European Central Bank, said Wednesday it would stop printing the €500 banknote, but the note would be remain legal tender. Okay, take a look at some stocks. The Dow down 99.65 points at 17,651.26. SP 500 down 20.25 points at 2,051.12. And Nasdaq 37.58 points at 4,725.64. Scientists have been able to mix and study human embryos in their labs and but they have never been able to keep them alive outside. Women's womb for more than about a week. The Australian government recently announced an unusual initiative to eradicate a long-standing animal pest problem driven the streams of rivers and invasive European carp crocodile and native freshwater species. Officials plan to begin inducing hepatitis C deaths reached an all-time high in 2014. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced Wednesday, surpassed the total combined deaths for the 60 of infectious disease, including HIV, tropical disease. Frozen vegetables are a staple to many diets, so a huge recall of them as a spirit at the package on freezers on Tuesday in the U.S. Evolution works in a strict energy budget. Each transportation burns by a certain number of calories, and each individual can only acquire so much calories in the course of the day. A last-ditch attempt at drug prevention by Prince Inner Circle came one day after too late to save the pill pop superstar. Representatives for the Purple One terrified their Thomas saying goodbye overdose of painkillers summoned in California court. Okay, look at that some. New England alerts at 6:48, 2 hours ago, in Manchester, Connecticut, 2 alarm fire, 247 New State Road. Alarm outbreak crews worked on a fire, 2.5-story multi-unit condo-style building with smoke pushed out of all windows and eaves. Peter Jones News on 6:48 p.m. on this Wednesday evening, and it is time now for a sports report. The Boston Red Sox will square off against the Chicago White Sox. Game time, 8:10 p.m. at Comiskey Park in Chicago. The Norton Lancers Bellingham Blackhawks game got called off after 4 innings due to rainy conditions. Currently, Bellingham's leading Norton 2-1, and they will make up the game. Time and date to be determined. Okay, look at some other Major League Baseball scores. No score in top of the first between the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers. Seattle Mariners out late in Oakland Athletics, 98 top of 8. Chicago comes over to Pittsburgh Pirates 6-2. Cisco Jets lose to the Cincinnati Reds 7-4. New York Mets shut out the Atlanta Braves 8-0. Los Angeles Angels over the Milwaukee Brewers 7-3. Washington Nationals over the Kansas City Royals 13-2. And the Colorado Rockies shut out the San Diego Padres 2-0. In Louisville, Kentucky, the trading charts hang on the border walls. One board wet clay to rewrite the late each morning and send a desk stores winning the Legend Book Spencer Pristine. Former Cleveland Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel was booked Wednesday in relation to a misdemeanor charge stemming from a domestic violence complaint by his ex-girlfriend. We've been there before, not that long ago. Real Madrid 1-0 win over Manchester City episode 2014 Champions League final repeat against Atletico Madrid. Cleveland talking about quarterbacks New New Brunswick quarterback Marvin Griffin III posed like a statue before sunrise in some respected high school football players Tuesday after the group was told they just removed $25,000 from the NFL team. Peter Childers, I'm 650 on this. Wednesday evening, it is time to have a Trevor report. It's late Wednesday evening. And let's take a look at the maps on this ride home from work on this Wednesday evening. And 95 on the southbound side, and it's slow from the Providence stretch. 95 on the northbound side, slow from 195 to the 6th connector, 146 on the southbound side, a little slow around Route 95 in downtown Providence. Out of the Cape, Borden Sunway Bridges on looking at Route 20 from Borden to Falmouth, Route 6 from Sagamore on all the leads. 95 on the southbound side, slow from 128 in Kenton all the way up to Cody Shooting Sharon. 24 on the southbound side, slow from 128 in Kenton all the way up to Harrison Boulevard, Navon. 120 in the southbound side, and so from Route 1 all the way to the Route 24 in Canton. Route 120 in the northbound side, so from Braintree all the way out to Route 24 in Canton. Route 3 in the southbound side, so from the split all the way out to Route 18 in Weymouth. And then hit breaks get around Derby Street and Hingham. Southeast Expressway, both ends it's slow from the pike down to the Braintree split. Mass Pocket in the eastbound side, and then it's slow after Route 120 in Canton all the way out to Newton. From 128 in Western all the way out to Newton. 120 on the northbound side, it did so from 20 Waltham all the way out to Route 129 in Ludfield. 120 to the southbound side, so over the Waltham stretch. Mass Pocket in the westbound side, and also after Route 120 western, and then Mass Pocket on the westbound side, and then so from South Boston all the way at Newton, Mass Pocket westbound side, so after move up 128 in western all the way out to Newton Corner. 93 is both ends it's so downtown Boston. 93 the southbound side, and then so from Somerville on the Zinkin Bridge. 93 the northbound side, and then so from Zinkin Bridge to Boston all the way after Route 125 in North Andover. County Tunnel, Slow Salt, Summer Tunnels looking again. Route 1 the northbound side, and then so from Route 16 all the way out to Revere. Route 1 in the northbound side, a little so from the Saugus all the way out to Linfield. 128 on the northbound side, and then so from Route 95 all the way out to Beverly. Route 3 on the northbound side, and then so from 62 Burlington all the way up to the Middle Wicca. Mass Pocket changes 293 to 85. It's a little slow in the northbound stretch. 95 in the northbound side, and then slow around Route 101 in Hampton, New Hampshire. But Vermont, New Hampshire main highways are looking good. And the highways and byways of Springfield are looking good. Acton, Connecticut, I-84 to the eastbound side, and then so from West Hartford all the way to I-91, I-84 to both ends, also after Route 8 in Waterbury. 91 in the southbound side, also around Route 95, New Haven. Bird Parkway on the westbound side, also the Greater Trench. Bird Parkway on the eastbound side, and then so from Greenwich all the way to Bridgeport. 95 on the northbound side, and then so from Greenwich all the way to Fairfield. 95 on the southbound side, and then so from 7 all the way to Greenwich. Long Expressway at both ends, also from Quebec all the way at the Manhattan. FDR Drive, it's sold both ends. Belt Parkway, it's sold from 278 all the way out to Hempstead. 278, it's sold both ends from Brooklyn all the way out to I-87. West Side Highway, it's sold from Hell's Kitchen all the way out to George Washington Bridge. 95 on the northbound side, and it's sold from I-80 all the way out to the Bronx. New Jersey Turnpike on the northbound side, and then sold from 495 all the way out to the Meadowlands. I-87 sold from the Bronx all the way out to 278. The New Jersey Turnpike is looking from New York all the way out to the Delaware border, and Garden State Park looking from Wildwood all the way out to Newark. Down in Philadelphia, I-76 it's slow on both ends from Philly to King of Prussia. 76 it's slow around 676. 95 is looking from Trenton all the way down Wilmington via Philadelphia. Out of New York State is looking from New York to the Pennsylvania border. 190 on the eastbound side. A little slow for the Canadian border. But the Pennsylvania Turnpike gets a little slow just in the Indian Lake section, so expect some delays. Down in Baltimore vicinity, 695 on the northbound side of it, so from 195 all the way at the Route 70, 695 on the northbound side of it, so from 70 all the way at the Tussin, 895 on the northbound side, also at Route 95 in the downtown Baltimore, 95 on the northbound side, and it's also around the Laurel stretch. Baltimore Washington Parkway is also from Greenwood out to Bowie, 95 on the southbound side is from Springfield Audio to Woodbridge. Route 5 in Florida, the southbound side from 495 to Clinton, Maryland. 395 northbound side of Louisville around the Capitol Beltway, Washington, D.C. around the Capitol Building. Route 66 in westbound side of Louisville from Washington all the way at the Arlington. Route 660 eastbound side of Louisville from the Avondale stretch. 660 to the westbound side of Louisville, Fairfax stretch. Capitol Beltway on the westbound side of Louisville after I-66 in Fairfax. And Route Beltway is slow from Tyson to Virginia all the way to Bethesda, Maryland. Okay, look at MBTA alerts at 6:55. As I check the traffic from up and down the 95 corridor. Take a look at MBTA alerts. Green line, Seabread experience and moderate delays due to disabled train at Cleveland Circle. Orange line experience and moderate delays due to early disabled train at Oak Grove. Silver line SFR experience and moderate delays due to disabled bus. And Silver line SFR experience and moderate delays due to traffic. Commuter rail. Worcester train 5:33, 6:05 p.m. Outbound operating 15:25 minutes late between Newtonville and Worcester due to a switch problem. Worcester line train 5:31, 5:35 p.m. from South Station operating 25:35 minutes late between Auburndale and Worcester due to a switch problem. Worcester train 5:32, 5:50 p.m. inbound is demanded. Worcester is expected to operate 30-40 minutes late en route to South Station. Worcester train 5:83, 5:30 p.m. outbound is operating 20-30 minutes late between Yawkey and Worcester due to a switch problem near Wellesley Farms. Worcester line experiencing various delays due to switch problem near Wellesley Farms. Worcester train 5:27, 5 p.m. outbound is operating 35-45 minutes late between Yawkey and Worcester due to a switch problem near Wellesley Farms. Please board all inbound Worcester line trains outbound platforms at Ferryman for Wellesley Farms until 7:30 p.m. And please board outbound Worcester trains at the inbound platforms at Wellesley Farms Ferryman Station until 7:30 p.m. But all the other MBTA commuter routes are looking good, and on the ferries, they are looking good. Peter Channel News Time, 6:56 p.m. on this Wednesday evening, 4 minutes to 7, and it's time now for a weather report. And it is raining outside, and that's why the Norton Bellingham baseball game got called off after 4 due to rain. It's a cold, rainy, raw day in town. And it's going to be well into the evening. As we take a look at the latest radar situation, it shows a lot of rain showers stretching from Summer Maine, stretching down for Seacoast, New Hampshire, coming to much of eastern Massachusetts and Cape Downs, and coming to all Rhode Island, coming to much of Connecticut, and stretching on eastern central portions of Long Island. And this is a heavy band of rain from Wyndham down to New London, heavy bands of rain around the Providence and down the Taunton area, and up to Brockton and to Marshfield. Now a lot of heavy band of rain showers from Kenton, stretching to Braintree, and stretching up to Lynn, Beverly, and Ipswich. And zoom you out, it shows some rain stretching around Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, and raining off the Jersey Shore. And some spotty rain showers from upstate New York, stretching out the central and western portion of Pennsylvania, down for western Maryland, and down for northeastern portions of Virginia, and some rain showers from western portions of Virginia. Alright, 7-day forecast goes like this. Today, rain possibly a thunderstorm before 11 p.m., then rain between 11 p.m. and midnight. Then showers like that to midnight, patch fog low at 44 degrees. North Vermont, 7 to 9 miles an hour. Gust side, 24 miles an hour. Chance rate to 9%. New appearance about to let between a quarter and a half an inch possible. Thursday, showers like with areas of drizzle. Patch fog before 3 p.m. Otherwise, clouds skies about 49 degrees. Northwest Vermont, 10 to 14 miles an gust size. 33 miles an hour. Chance rate to 7%. New appearance about between 10 and 14 inch possible. Thursday night, showers in areas of drizzle. It may before 2 a.m. Then there is a drizzle to check the showers above to 2 a.m. Patch fog. Before 2 a.m. low at 44 degrees. North about 6 to 10 miles an hour. Chest range is 8%. New about less than 10 inches possible for Friday. Areas that drizzle to check the showers before 9 a.m. Then check the showers after 9 a.m. Most skies got about 57 degrees. Northwest Vermont. 6 miles an hour. Chest range is 40%. Friday night showers like May before 9 p.m. Most skies got about 46 degrees. Northwest Vermont 3 to 6 miles an hour. Chest range is 6%. Sunday night, check the showers maybe between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Most skies about 61 to about 49 degrees. Chest range is 30%. Sunday, check the showers before 3 p.m. Mostly cloudy and podcast skies about 62 to about 44 degrees. Chest range is 50%. For Monday, mostly sunny podcast skies about 62 to about 46 degrees. Tuesday, mostly sunny podcast skies about 67 to about 48 degrees. And for Wednesday, mostly sunny skies about 68 degrees. Currently in Norton, it is 45. Heavy rain, fog and mist, the humidity 9%. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel 80 News on this May 4th, 2016 now. Wednesday, Peter's game. Good evening, goodbye, and call. See you for late air report. Right to the sports minute, right to the Red Sox, White Sox game. Have a good evening.